Hi there, and welcome to the Lois Strachan YouTube channel. I'm Lois, and today I'm going to be answering another question from a member of my community about my recent kidney transplant surgery. So today's question comes from Rebecca, who asks, what was the things that surprised me most following the transplant surgery? And I've decided to limit myself to three. So the first one is actually my energy levels. When I had the surgery, I bounced back really quickly. And within 4 days, I was up and about. I was moving around in the hospital room on my own. I was able to stand straight up and was really, while I was a little bit less steady on my feet than normal, I really was able to act independently and I didn't need much support at all for any of the things that I was busy doing. I expected that that would continue. And here I am, sort of almost 8 weeks after the surgery, and my energy levels are still pretty much impacted. I'm back to work, but I'm really only able to work 3, maybe 4 hours. Now, for someone who usually works 8 hours a day or more, that's significant. So it surprised me that after an initial quick bounce back, that my energy levels are taking so long to recover. I know it does take a long time. I've seen from other people that I've chatted to. I've heard some people say it's 3 months, some people have said a year. So I don't know what it's going to look like going on from now. But yeah, so that's item one, my energy levels following the surgery. Number two, related to my diet. So when in the workup to the surgery, the surgeon said to me, it's going to be amazing after your surgery. Obviously, apart from grapefruit and pomegranates, you can pretty much eat what you like. There's no more renal dietary restrictions. So that's what I was expecting. Only it seems that the truth is a little more complicated than that. After the surgery, I spoke to the renal dietitian who was part of the medical team that I was working with, and she said to me that in fact there were a couple of other things that I needed to take into consideration, and then proceeded to tell me about all of them. Now, I've done a couple of videos about what I can and cannot eat following the kidney transplant, so I'm not going to go into any details here. But it seems that there's a lot more to take into consideration than I originally thought, and that did surprise me. And then the third thing, and this is one that probably startled me the most, had to do with the control of my glucose levels following the kidney transplant. I am a type 1 diabetic I take insulin injections to control my diabetes. And again, I had been warned by the surgeon that following the kidney transplant, my sugar levels would be very unpredictable, that my glucose levels would run quite high. But I honestly didn't expect that they would be as impacted as they were. And yes, I know it has to do with the medication. It has to do with the steroids that are part of the anti-rejection medication that I'm taking. So it is a long-term thing. And I am learning to adjust my insulin levels and my glucose readings accordingly. I'm getting that back under control, but it really has taken a lot of time and energy and thought into figuring out what my new normal is in terms of my diabetic control. So that I think is number three, and probably the thing that surprised me the most about my kidney transplant. Just a quick reminder, as I always say, you've got to understand that this is just my experience, and everyone's experience looks different because kidney transplants, kidney disease, dialysis, all of these things are very complex medical conditions. So what I experience may or may not look like what you or someone you know experiences. And whatever happens in your journey with chronic kidney disease, it's best to work with your medical team to figure out what is best for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.